Hey, Shalom Shalom Mishpocha. Welcome to another edition of Ray Bash's Ramblings. I'm your host, Rabbi Yehuda Ben Shomer, and today I'm going to be tackling another hot-button topic in Christianity and in Judaism and Messianic Judaism, and that is the subject of circumcision. First off, I would like to make it abundantly clear that I do not believe circumcision is a requirement for salvation. There is in no way, shape, or form that the foreskin of a man's genitalia is their ticket to heaven. So I do not believe that you have to be circumcised to be saved. Also, I do not believe that circumcision has been done away with. Circumcision in Christianity has been replaced by baptism. They usually have like a baby dedicating service or what have you. That has replaced the 8th-day circumcision that is still done in Judaism today. Now, granted, most hospitals, they circumcise right off the bat unless the parents ask not to, and they think, well, I was circumcised in the hospital, so I'm good. Well, maybe you were circumcised, that's great, but that doesn't make you a Jew. That doesn't make you Jewish. Circumcision is a ritual that brings a person into the covenant, into the blood covenant of Abraham, and therefore in a covenant relationship with God. This is done on the 8th day after a Jewish child, Hebrew child, is born, Christianity is welcome to participate in this as well and to continue this tradition, but it is not a requirement for salvation. Now, when a Gentile converts to Judaism, Messianic Judaism, or what have you, either if the man has not gone through a full-blown circumcision, he'll have to do that. He can have that done by a mohel, which is a rabbinically ordained, certified person, where that's all they do is they perform circumcisions. They're masters at it. If one can't be found, then they can go to the hospital and get a circumcision done by a medical professional, and then later come back and have what's called a hadafat dam brit. Now, a hadafat dam brit is where there is just one drop of blood drawn from that area. I'm trying to be as delicate and as polite as possible because I know Mixed Company watches these videos, so please don't take offense to anything that I say. And it's usually done with a sterilized needle or something like a diabetic lancet. I've gone through the hadafat dam brit myself because I found out that I was Jewish later in life. I already had a circumcision when I was born, so I went through the hadafat dam brit, and it's virtually painless. It actually hurts more to take blood from the tip of your finger to like test for diabetes or what have you than it does to get a drop of blood taken from down there. The blood is then put on a gauze, and that is like the proof. It's usually witnessed by the rabbi, the moel, if you're having a moel perform this, and at least 1 or 2 other male witnesses. Some blessings are said, some certificates are signed, and then the man goes and takes a mikvah. Now, what a mikvah is pretty much a baptism where you are fully submersed in the water, and that kind of seals the deal, and you officially have converted to Judaism. You are officially a Jew and are no longer to be recognized or considered a Gentile. Now, for a woman, of course, circumcision is a moot point. There's no circumcision for women, but for a woman to convert, she has to take a mikvah and sign some papers as well. Now, the process of conversion usually takes up to a year or more, where the person has to study the Torah, learn the Torah, learn what's expected of him, living a Jewish life, all the rituals and customs, and then the person is tested on these things, and then goes through the whole thing of circumcision. Now, I don't believe circumcision has been done away with at all. For the Gentile, it's a matter of choice. For the Jew, it's a commandment. It's been commanded. It hasn't been done away with. But for the Gentile, it is a choice. You can still be Torah observant and still walk in the footsteps of Yeshua the Messiah without getting circumcised. You don't have to be circumcised. But if you want to be, that's fine. That's totally great. Make sure your motives are right. A person, if a person shouldn't be circumcised if they think that that's their way to salvation. A person shouldn't be circumcised if they just want a free ticket to make immigration to Israel, or if they want to be recognized as a Jew and therefore be better than everybody else. And all those are not right motives for circumcision. A lot of times Gentiles who are circumcised, they feel such a longing and a pulling and a drawing within their heart to become Jewish because they feel like they've always been Jewish and they just can't explain it. And in Judaism there is a mystical tradition that people that are like that are most likely Jewish, whether you can trace their lineage or not, that they have a Jewish soul, if you will. Because remember, there were two captivities. There was the Babylonian captivities, which Judah and Benjamin and Levi returned from, and they're who we recognize as Jews today. Then you have the lost 10 tribes that have went to Assyrian captivity and never returned. The people that desire to convert and have the purest heart and motives and the burning and longing to convert are most likely the ones that are maybe from some of these lost 10 tribes. And that's according to Jewish mysticism, and I believe this is so because I had that same pull and longing, and I have been able to trace my maternal lineage and found Jewish roots there, and that's how I found out that I was Jewish. But I always felt like I was all along, and always had a draw and a pull to Judaism. And so it's kind of like a homing beacon for people that have been lost in the diaspora to come back to the roots and to come back to Judaism. Now, those who do not choose to be circumcised should not be treated as second-class citizens by those who have converted or those who are Jewish and are circumcised. As long as they keep the Torah, there should be no issues, should be no problem. So, there's some, I don't want to say disadvantages, but there's some things that a person cannot do if they're not circumcised. That's when the temple is rebuilt and the institution of the Paschal lamb is reinstated, and we take the lambs to be slaughtered, and then we have the Passover lamb. An uncircumcised person, according to the Torah, is not permitted to partake of that Passover lamb. Do we allow uncircumcised people to attend Passover Seders, people that are not converted, because we don't use the lamb anymore? We usually have chicken or turkey or kosher beef or something of that nature. And the reason we don't use the Passover lamb is because there is no temple, and therefore we can't sacrifice the Paschal lamb. So we can't do that until the temple's rebuilt and we all move back to Israel and have our Passover Seders in Israel. So that's why we allow Gentiles to come and participate in Passover Seders. So if a person isn't circumcised when the temple is rebuilt and we start offering the Passover lamb once again, Gentiles or believers that aren't circumcised can't participate in that aspect according to the command of Torah. So I know I'm probably going to get a whole lot of questions on this, and I hope I'm going to be able to answer. I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm not trying to stir up controversy. I'm just trying to explain my beliefs and the sect that I belong to, our beliefs regarding circumcision, what it's all about. So I'm running out of time here. Maybe I'll put out a part 2 if I get enough questions. I'll try to put a descriptor of what I believe about circumcision in the information section of the video, the description. So shalom and Shavua Tov. We'll talk to you later. Bye.